You'll need to come seated just for a few minutes as I set and open the session. Okay. Eyes soft or closed. I don't mind how you're sat, just a position that feels relaxed, easy, but steady. As though we had one lung, breathe in deeply. Let go fully. Again. Soft. Please bring the hands together in a prayer position at the heart center or in any other posture that allows you to feel centered or reverential in some way. Maybe the hands on the heart, the head into the air, wherever feels natural for you. Let your body lead. Even in these moments, let your body lead. You will inhale for Om Ahom. In. Relax the hands down. Bowing the head slightly forward. Letting the eyes flicker open. And letting the gaze, first working to the left, just begin to find its way back into the open space. Looking round to the left. And slowly upward. And around and down to the right. Really letting the eyes drink in color, texture, light, shade, form. And ultimately, gently back to me as it feels natural to do so. Coming gently round. Can you guys hear me at the back, or do I need to talk louder? Is this okay? If I'm ever speaking and you can't hear me, just give me a little flag, yeah? Okay. So, I knew that we were coming down here this morning, obviously, and it got me thinking this morning about a class that I did a little while back with Dan Siegel, who some of you might know, Daniel Siegel. He is a neuroscientist and a psychotherapist, and his work is very interesting, very beautiful. But in relation to his new book that I think he published last year, he was speaking about the science of interconnectivity and the research that he had done in the process of writing that book, and what he shared. Jazz and I were lying by the pool the other day, and we were both being quiet. She was reading her book, I was lying there, and I interrupted her to go, "Babe, look, it's a huge bird, it's an eagle, there's lots of them around here." And then she turned to look up, I went, "Oh no, it's a plane." She didn't even say anything, she just went like... Anyway, yeah, what he shared in that class was that while he was doing his research, he went to stay, and forgive me, I cannot remember the name of the community of the tribe, but he went to stay with one of the oldest living tribes in Africa. It's like totally remote. They've had barely any contact with Westerners at all. And he was sat with the chief, right? The elder of the village one evening. And he asked him, Dan asked him, he said, like, "Are you and your people happy?" And the chief responded and he said, "Well, of course, because we have the earth and we have each other." And he said, "Are your people happy?" And Dan said that he just sat back and went, "No." If I would hope, what has mattered this week for you, if I would hope that amongst it all you could take one thing, or I could leave you with one parting message, it would be to tend to outer and inner nature. We're just so connected from our own nature. We don't know how to be. We just don't even know how to be. I don't think anything else in nature questions its nature, questions how it should hold itself, live, thrive. An outer nature and inner nature is the same, in the same way that she has her rhythms, so do we. But we don't know how to relate to either, outwardly or inwardly. The most profound thing for me has been learning to trust inner rhythms. And I think when sometimes you hear people talk about or teach about inner rhythm, internal cycles, these kinds of things, you can read big books about it, and it can seem very mysterious and complicated, but it's not. Of course it's not. We just have to learn to feel very deeply what the body wants to do in any given moment. And that is simple, actually, but it's also terrifying, because we've lost this inner wilderness that we're talking about, and we've been socialized out of our own nature. I spent a large portion of yesterday evening, while we were out dancing with the sun, doing something quite bizarre with a tree. But it was what my body was called to do. To reawaken that instinct, to know that that's what my body wants to do, has taken, best part of a decade and a half. To be able to know that that's what my body wants to do and follow through with it, follow the thread without inhibition or shame has taken, is even more recent. The body knows how to regulate itself. It knows when it wants to move fast, shake out, go slow. It knows all of these movement systems we learn, beautiful, powerful, we will draw on them today. But your body knows where it's like tight and trapped, and it knows how it wants to move. It's just that we don't feel like we're allowed to move freely because it would look peculiar. It would be peculiar. We can't even do it on our own, let alone out in a public space. I remember being years and years and years ago, probably 20 years ago, sat in an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. It was a big, 12-step fellowships were a big part of my very early recovery, not really now. But and I remember this dude, he was a lovely dude, his name was Will, American guy, like big bear of a guy, really soft, really warm. And I remember watching him sat in one of these meetings, and all he was doing, right, was this. My neck, could you hear that? It does it like every time in the moment. But all he was doing was circling his head. And I remember so vividly sitting there. And I can't remember like exactly what the feeling was, but I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. I remember just being transfixed by it. And I couldn't tell if I was kind of experiencing some sort of wonder at what he was doing. I was just confused by it. But I do remember thinking or feeling, I don't think it was even a cognition. It was some kind of sense of like, it shouldn't be happening in a public space. Like I couldn't understand. I just couldn't understand it. He was just rolling his head around. So we got to be able to be weird, We have to be able to, when the body wants to lie down, needs rest. Yeah, sure. The world moves the way it moves. Sometimes we have to keep in rhythm with the turn of the cogs, right? But let me give you an example. I'm really tired one morning. I have clients in a few hours, or even in an hour. Not very long, huh? I have some stuff to do. I'm tired. My body wants to lie down. It wants to lie down. I can feel that. Well, the first step of that maybe is letting myself lie down and setting a little timer or something so that then I can get along with my morning and get ready for my day. That's a step in the right direction, because maybe what most of us do usually is ignore that impulse, that urge. We override ourselves constantly. I would say that we override ourselves 99% of the time, right? We're just cognitizing our entire existence and feeling none of it, and therefore we aren't alive. We're not living, we're dying. And so the first thing is to know that that pulse is there and become allowed to follow it instead of ride over it and busy yourself with all the things you think you have to do. And then I guess the next step is that, maybe we set an alarm as a backup, just so we don't fall asleep and miss the first client of the day or whatever it is we need to tend to, right? Or a school run or whatever else. But what you'll find is if you just lie down deeply, fully, and that you stay there, you give yourself permission to stay there until your body is done. You'll know the moment will come where there is another impulse, and that impulse is to start to shift back out of that state and re-emerge. If you can actually follow that flow of energy in your body, then the funny thing is often when you give yourself to it deeply, it doesn't even take a metaphoric 20-minute cat nap. You might actually find yourself ready in 4 minutes because you were prepared to be there for 40 if need be. And so the rest is deep and the urge, the energy is honored so fully that it can really be met, it can be lived. And then the body carries on its dance and we follow. Every moment to the fullest of our ability within this very, very broken paradigm must be lived that way. To sit and sing the song out before you leave the car. To walk fast, to walk slow, what you want to eat. When you want to eat. When you feel like connecting and talking, and when you're just done. You know those moments, right? When you're done with the conversation. Even if it's been exquisite, you're just done. But we don't listen, do we? Because we were taught that we weren't allowed. We've been systematized. And so now we're lost. So we have to learn to return to our nature. And I promise you, it's just right there. It's not as far as we think. And being in the outer nature of things helps us return a little faster. She's very good at reminding us. You know? She teaches us how to be. If you look closely enough, if you're quiet enough and you really listen, she'll help you remember. So, other than this, there is only one more thing I want to say, because it's relevant to us coming to the close of our week together. Is that nature is very good at composting. Right? She knows how to bloom and to open, but she also knows how to die and turn, not let material get stuck, get stagnant, right? Be turned into new fuel, right? To nourish the next thing. She's always in motion, yeah? Even when she's still, there's motion. And so, whatever has been stirred in your system this week, whatever experiences you've had, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, difficult, beautiful, all of it, it's very important that as you begin to transition out of here and back out into your life beyond this space, this container, that you don't hold any of it. You don't need to. It's not useful to cling to any of it, even that which has felt really poignant for you, because we get this feeling of, I need to remember that, I've got to hold on to that, or this feeling, this state, this whatever it is, yeah? And then the bad stuff, the tricky stuff, the sticky stuff, we get very contracted around as well. And we need to learn how to just stop obstructing the process of digestion. Because it is a natural process. Things rise, and if we don't get stuck around them, then they move through. Even when they're very big, they just move through. They just move through. And because we don't hold them, contract around them in any way, they can be digested and assimilated. It's only through the letting go of all of it that it can become integrated and actually become part of the new structure of your being. And so through the set that we're going to do, we're going to work a little bit, not entirely, but a little bit with that digestive capacity, right? How to help things cook in the cauldron of our being and then ultimately be digested and assimilated, okay? So, without me talking anymore, lie down. And I really want you to notice the inner sensation that arises as you come to lie down. Just that simple action, right? Just the simple action of lying flat on your back. What does it do? What is its somatic effect? How does it feel? feel that you deepen into it for a moment, that because our bodies so habitually, they have this elastic band tendency trained into them, where we come to rest and the anticipation, particularly in the daytime, is that they will have to bounce right back up again. Let your body give a little more. Just sink into it, like you could be here forever. And begin to stretch a little. In whatever way feels good. Just maybe reach the arms up, be long, point the toes down, maybe wiggle the hips, move the spine. I don't know, just feel. It can be nice to lift the chin of the head and just really elongate, stretch the back of the neck. Please then draw the knees into the chest and then point the legs right up toward the sky or toward the canopy. Legs nice and straight, arms wherever it feels good to position them. Feet coming flat, toes pulling back, strong legs, flat feet pulled right back, soles toward the canopy or the sky. And just hold there. Breath moving freely through nose and mouth, which means that we allow the breath to come in through the nose when it wants to, or in through the mouth when it wants to. We allow it to leave the nose when it wants to, and leave the mouth when it wants to. Keep the lips slightly parted. Let it flow freely. Keep your legs strong and straight. It should feel intense. Some of you, after a while, even maybe after a few seconds, you may notice a little bit of a tremble. These exercises are not a test of strength. The tremble is usually a sign of energy, of stress, of trauma beginning to be purged from the system. Strong, 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 flat feet. Breath is light. These last few moments, keep them even stronger. Learn not to pull away at the moment of challenge, but to lean in that little bit deeper, little bit stronger. And then slowly, first let the feet release. And then slowly let the knees lower down, back toward the chest, but out to the sides. Good. And then first both legs at the same time, right? Like we did the other morning, but then to bounce the heels kind of on the butt. Really loose, kind of floppy. And then if it feels good, you can also try going left, right, back and forth. Play with the exact positioning of the knees, the hips. Might feel good to let the knees kind of turn out to the side a bit more, closer in. You can play with it. And then just kind of get a little bit weird and like just shake the legs around, but right from the hip joint, right? Not just from the knee. Good. Then come, bring the legs still and let them bring themselves back down flat to the floor, long, straight and flat to the floor. And then bring your left knee only back in toward the chest. The foot comes flat again. And you will kick like we did the other morning. It's like you're putting your heel through a plasterboard wall. Really punchy, right from the hip. And first you start quite slow. The kick itself is speedy, right? But the space between kicks is longer. Kick. And then slowly letting it draw back in. And kick. Allowing the leg to move, change position and height. Sometimes it will go right up toward the sky. Sometimes it will kick lower to the ground. Sometimes it will land somewhere in between. Let the body choose. Don't overthink it. In fact, don't think about it at all. Just let the body do. And begin to speed up a little so the kicks come quicker, one after the other. Last few, really strong. Good. And then float the leg out and lower it slowly. Using the abdominals, lower it slowly back down to the floor. If you need to bring a slight bend into the knee, then do. And once you get there, once you land, just feel. Have awareness in that left leg. Notice if the sensation in the left leg is different from the right. Just feel. And now the right leg, allowing the right knee to come in toward the chest. Right foot is very flat and strong, i.e. toes are pulled back, not pointed. And begin to kick. Nice and strong. It's the heel that leads. Again, letting the leg move where it wants to move. pointing straight up, kicking down low, or anywhere in between. Feel each kick deeply. Getting a little faster now, letting the kicks roll one after the other. Last few nice and strong. And then on the next one, let the legs stay out and gently float it down. And when you arrive there, letting go deeply and attuning to the inner sensations. Stretch very long. Arms up, toes down, long, 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 long. Wiggle a little bit side to side as you stretch this long. And then release completely, arms coming back down by the side. And then gently turning to one side, almost into a fetal-like position, so that you can use the upper arm to gently push up, pushing the palm into the ground and gently coming up from here. Coming, you can be either cross-legged or sat back on the heels in this way. Either will work. Okay, hands rested, however you're sat, kind of on the knees or the thighs, letting them land wherever feels natural. And in whichever direction feels natural for your body, you spontaneously move in that direction, that's fine. You're going to begin to grind. It's called a Sufi grind. So we inhale the chest out and forward and exhale round back, right? But what's really important is that you have this kind of motion going on with the spine, so that there's this feeling of grinding into the belly and digestive area, right? We're not just sort of stiffly circling like a spoon in a cup. It's more like a mortar and pestle, right? Grinding in. And as you move in this way, the breath will draw in through the nose as you come forward and as the heart comes out. And the breath will exhale, will leave the body as you round back. Okay? I'm just going deeply into this movement. Whether the eyes are soft or closed, just have your awareness in that whole digestive region that you are working into. And feel literally in the same way that a witch or a medicine woman would grind her herbs, her medicinal plants, some of them bitter, some of them sweet. Think about your week. That which has been bitter, difficult, that which has been sweet. and let your body begin to grind it down. Turn it into something digestible. Remembering that if at any moment, always in any practice, we feel very overwhelmed, the emotional charge is too much, it is better to bring the eyes a little open. You can always mediate and regulate yourselves by adjusting the position of the eyes to a great extent. But also feel as deeply as you would like to, as feels natural in this moment. As you move, let the breath become a little stronger and feel that each time it will still always move in and out of the nose, but each time you draw that breath in, feel it kind of drop into the bowl of the belly, into your mixing pot. And let the movement be really felt when you come forward. Feel it, really push into the body. As you roll back, really push back into the spine. Feel it, work in. Just like grinding a mortar and pestle, it requires some effort. And just like when we're working with herbs, at the point that everything seems mostly broken down, there's usually a few husks remaining, difficult bits. So keep going. When you work a herb or a plant, its essence, in some way, be it fragrance or juice, begins to come out. There is emotion emerging, sensations, like, it's okay, let it be there, because then it can be assimilated, rather than stay trapped. It can become the medicine that we need. And then please come to the center, still, long floating spine. Inhale fully but gently into the belly. Let the breath leave very slowly across the lips. And just sit for some moments. Rest, be, let the body do its work. Then please bring your body into a deep twist. However you are sat, you could be up on the knees, you could be cross-legged, either will work. First, please bring the left hand, back of the hand making contact with the body, all the way round. Use the right hand to take hold of the opposite knee and to twist as deeply as you can. And then allow the head to float back to center. Gaze soft and low, eyes open, please. There is an intentional kind of tension in it, holding but letting the breath flow freely through nose and mouth, as and where it wishes. Ensure the lips are slightly parted to facilitate it. And once again, when it starts to feel a little tough, or the body's patterned, habitual response is to slacken, to ease up, never with any aggression, with incredible tenderness and care for self. Just hold, stay. Learn to meet that moment of intensity, because that is often where the magic happens with the body. That's when there's the friction beginning to be created with the inner material. So just hold. And even though it requires effort, it's paradoxical. You exert that effort, but also feel very relaxed with it. Which is a Zen phrase, Wu Wei, which means effortless effort. This is how we practice. You might find the body can even twist a little deeper. And very slowly, as though I have put you into slow motion, incrementally, strangely slow, begin to release, feeling every moment. And at no moment does the body then move suddenly. Everything is slow, all the way. Even as the arms come back round at your own pace, toward the frontal lap, you don't move them suddenly. And once you arrive at that central sitting point, rest, feel, and let the inner unwinding continue. Then please repeat. Opposite side. Now the right hand comes around, back of the hand making contact with the body. The left hand crossing over so that you can twist as deeply as possible, and then allowing the head to float back to center with a light forward downward gaze, soft gaze. Breath moves freely through nose and mouth. Keeping the intentionality of the position, but also fostering a sense of ease, allowing a sense of ease as you hold it. Perhaps going that little bit deeper in these last moments. And then slowly, slowly unwind. And when you come back to a natural position, rest, feel, be attuned to the inner sensation, and let it continue to expand. Twisting back to the left arm around. This time we will do as we did, I don't know when, yesterday, day before. We're going to, in a moment, we'll take a very deep breath in. As you exhale, exhale every last drop of air and of prana, of energy, right? Use your belly as you twist. Squeeze the belly in. Feel that you pull it back toward the spine, compressing all of the energy out of these channels, right? These nadis. Squeeze it out like wringing out a cloth and hold it. Hold the breath out. Suspend it out, okay? And then we will inhale back in very fast as we come undone, okay? So all the way around, and inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Twist deeply as you do and squeeze the belly in. Squeeze it out, squeeze it out, squeeze it out. The head can stay with you in alignment. Squeeze it all the way out. Hold it out. Suspend yourself in the silence a moment. Exhale more. Very fast. Inhale and open. Relax. Feel. Other side. Inhale deeply. Exhale, twist completely, squeeze the belly. All out, all of it out, hold it out. Exhale a bit more. Very fast, inhale and open. Relax. Feel. Rest. Last sitting exercise, and you'll be able to shake out your legs. It's very loose. So however you're sat, even if you're up on your knees, it will still work. It's just loosening up, right? One shoulder goes forward, the other goes back, but it feels kind of soft, yeah? Soft and slow, just a few times. And then bring both shoulders forward, round the spine back. Push the spine back really strongly. And very slowly open out to a natural position again. And as you come to that natural position, then continue to move and let the shoulders come back and the heart forward. Squeezing the shoulder blades together for a moment. Head can come up a little bit. Chin up a little bit. Really squeeze the shoulder blades just for a second, and then very slowly release, returning to a natural position. Please coming standing. Shake, but as an intentional exercise, not just because we've been sat for a while. It's like a looser, lighter version of the kicks that we did. Just really feeling it move from the hip, feeling the flesh of the leg like wobble a little bit as you shake them out. Good. Then please bring the legs wide. Feet are turned out slightly, knees turned out rather than inward. A nice wide squat. Soft knees. Fingers behind, thumbs in front on the thigh. Ooh. And just hold there for a moment. You can press the hands down into the thighs. It's not a test of strength. Ooh, we have the Irish ladies joining us. Just focus back inward a minute. They'll realize we're here. Just breathe a moment. Breath moving lightly through nose and mouth. Imagine there's two hearts in the bottom of your feet. You can come through. Do you need to come through? Okay. You guys, just let your legs come straight, gently straight. And just stand, hold for a moment, breath moving lightly. You're okay, don't worry. Again, coming legs closer together, about hip distance apart. And you're going to bring the arms overhead. And do they face forward or in? Yeah, palms facing forward. Feet need to feel nice and steady. Huh? And you're going to, it's a very simple movement, and you'll be with it some minutes. So make sure the shoulders are kind of soft and low. Don't be up like this. We're going to inhale to one side, right? And so it's this. You're going to feel the opening through the side body. And it's important that you do, right? You need to get over to the point that you can really feel it here. You inhale slowly that way, and then exhale back to center. And then inhale. And exhale. Slower than we just did though. Breath moving freely through nose and mouth. Inhaling. And stay with this. Needs to take on this kind of light hypnotic quality. Eyes can be closed, soft or open as you prefer. Good. Then the next time you come to center, please just come to center and very slowly, very consciously float the arms down. Feel them float down through open space. Once you come to a place where the arms are hanging loosely, just rest a moment, feel, be. Squeeze the shoulders up to the ears. Nice and tight, 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 tight. And really fast, let it go. Roll the head. One direction, whichever is fine. Nice and slow. Let the breath move freely through nose and mouth. Coming in the nose when it wants to, coming in the mouth when it wants to. Leaving the nose when it wants to, leaving the mouth when it wants to. Ensure the lips are slightly parted to allow this to occur. Keep going, but reverse the direction of the head. And then allowing the head to gently float back to its central position. And again, just standing a moment, resting. The gap isn't the point where we wait. The gap is actually where the magic happens. It's also true of life. If we always move from just one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, we can't be nourished by anything. We can't be quenched by anything because there is no space to integrate, to assimilate. The only thing we ever need to do for integration to happen, is rest in space. Rest. With your feet hip distance apart still. This time we're going to bring the hands again overhead. Yes, again, palms forward facing. Now what is very important when we do this is that the arms are strong and straight, not tense, but that, they're not floppy, and neither are the hands, okay? It's very important that the hands aren't floppy because your fingers are like antennas, okay? Energetic antennas. And what we will do is when you are in this upward position, right, there will be this internal sense of feeling out into, of connecting with endless, infinite space, up to the skies and beyond. So here we feel that. And then very slowly, it's a slow movement. We hinge from the hips. The arms always stay level with your ears. And we make our way very slowly down. And when the body gets to a point like a tabletop where the back is flat, then we begin to allow the spine to curve, but we still keep the arms in alignment with the ears. When we come all the way down, wherever our body naturally comes to, for some of you that will be the ground, for some of you it will be higher up, that's fine. Here we feel this deep sense of interconnectivity with the earth. We feel the solidity of the earth beneath us. It's very important that we feel that we are grounded through the feet, that the feet are really rooting in as we move the whole time. Then you will come up from here. You will maintain a sense of connection with the ground, while simultaneously beginning to re-engage with the sense of space above. And you will continue up and down in this way. Eyes can be soft closed or open. Sometimes little open is easier for balance. I know that these exercises with the arms can be challenging, but they're also very potent. So just for this short time, come as fully as you can, engage with it as accurately as you can, and you aren't lingering too long at top or bottom. It's just a moment, a pulse where you connect, but the movement is fluid, nice and slow. It will feel slower than natural, yeah? Slow right down. Remember to keep your fingers and hands strong, not floppy. If you have any injuries that mean this simply isn't possible or you can't accommodate it, then you may and must adjust in a way that makes sense to you. You can even imagine that you are doing it in your mind's eye if absolutely necessary. You can do that. That will also have an energetic impact. I trust you to take care of yourself. Very slow, very slow. Train your body to move slowly. A deep, moving meditation, absolute absorption, absolute immersion. If you notice your body trembling at all, allow this. Do not be concerned by it. And also do not be concerned if that is not happening. The next time you come down, stay down. Hang. And then once you have spent a few moments hanging, roll very slowly back up and come to standing. Very still, very quiet. Take your own time. Without disturbing or disrupting yourself, let the feet come right next to each other. The arms are still loose by the side. The legs are strong without being uncomfortably tense. Be like a reed or a bamboo cane in the wind. Let the body rock a little. You will notice it does so, that it sways in the breeze, a little forward, a little back, a little left, a little right, and that it also has the capacity to right itself, to find center. Rest here. It will only work if the feet are absolutely next to each other. Please come lying flat down on your belly. Face toward the earth or to the side. Position your head, your face, your arms, however you need to make it work. Let your front body, your belly, your chest, your heart, your stomach, your intestines, all of it. Really feel the front body soften, open to the earth, whether you're on the deck or the ground, connecting with this sense of just opening to the earth that is beneath. Softening, softening every bit of the body, letting it all soften. The feet, the legs, the arms, palms, shoulders, the back, the buttocks, hips, and even more fully, even more deeply, the belly, the heart, softening, softening. You might think, well, how do we do that? Hear the words silently, as though you invite each of the parts of the body and the body as a whole to just soften. You'll be surprised to find that it listens and responds. Let even the envelope of the skin soften. The face, the skull, every time the breath leaves the body, let the deepest tensions melt down into the ground. Every time the breath leaves the body, let all of the tension and all of the energetic and emotional debris compost down into the earth. Let the earth drink it in. For as you let her take it in, she serves you. She lovingly takes it away. But also you love and serve her. You offer all of this debris to be composted down into the earth so that new things may sprout. Smell the earth, the wood, the green. Over the next few moments, as your body sends a gentle pulse that it is ready to, roll over and turn onto your back. Feel yourself in right place, your natural place, Mother Earth below, Father Sky above, aligning with the cosmic order of things. Child of the universe, held lightly in between the two. Please begin to gently wiggle the fingers, the toes. Letting the body wake back up. Using the breath to bring in life, energy, vitality. Preparing yourself to become ready in a few moments to come seated for meditation. Follow your own body. Find your own way gently back. Make sure that the fleshy part of the buttocks is out from behind. However you're positioning yourself, just make sure that it feels that your root is connected. Eyes are soft or closed, as feels either safest or most natural for you in this moment. Feel, sense, see your spinal column like a trunk. Your nervous system. These long strings of nerves wind in, around and through the trunk of the spinal column and all through your body. Up to the top of the spine, where the spine meets the brainstem. You feel the strings of your nervous system beginning to lengthen, grow, extend, and wind down into the earth. Roots reaching, coiling, spiraling gently down into the ground. making contact with the root systems of the trees, with the nervous system of the earth, the mycelium network. See it like a fascia, like a net of fibers that runs invisibly everywhere through everything under the surface of the soil. Let your own nervous system wind down and join that network. The strings of the nervous system that would usually stop around the brain stem, they also begin to wind and grow and extend up and out around the skull, coming out of the skull and the crown of the head like hairs or branches. Let the branches of your nervous system extend up and out, reaching up and out towards the sky endlessly. So that the mind and its neural networks are no longer confined to the brain or the place contained within your skull, but in fact reach out beyond the blue sky of the day into the endless blue-black of space. The stars becoming like flashing neurons in your mindscape. Connected entirely with the web and wellspring of consciousness, we begin to quietly chant in a whisper the mantra of green Tara, like Pachamama, the Great Mother. Om Tare Tu Tare, Ture Soha. Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture Soha. Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture Soha. Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture Soha. Keep whispering. As you whisper, as you chant, feel that the knowing of eternal time, everything that has happened and ever will happen, moves through your system, is channeled through you and in you, waking you up, connecting you with the source of life. Let eternity talk to you. Have a secret conversation with infinity as you whisper. Go in deep. Let the vibration become silent. Hear it inside, invisible ripples. release your mantra and rest in open awareness. Relax out into the field of awareness. And then disturbing your inner space as little as possible. Rise, grow, become taller, come to stand. For Tandava, feet planted, rooted, arms as cosmic branches. Let your body lead.
Blessed we are to dance on this ground with the rhythm of saints to carry the sun. And we pray for all life, for the days yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song. Remember
The air you are breathing in was exhaled in ecstasy by an ancient sun. The earth you stand on was born of cosmic love and fire, of the explosive, ecstatic union of him and her. Everything has its own unique energy, character. Flowers are dainty. Wild. Rocks are steady. Rivers flow, fall, and rage. Grass likes to stretch and dance. Her blades bobbing on the breeze. Trees have seen much more than us. They hold knowledge. Shed insularity. Be all pervasive. Delight in the kinship that is everywhere. Let this be your religion. Inhale. Exhale. With the hands on the heart. Om Ahum. Send it out to the edges of eternity as if there were any. Inhale. And as you inhale, let it boomerang back into your heart.